Got it.
All right.
We're on.
Good morning.
Morning, Londell.
Good morning.
Mm.
Okay, let me pause it. It always says that. Okay.
While you're setting up, there's something interesting was happening. Like SPY was going up, but the puts were also going up, which was crazy.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how, okay, so I had taken a small put just at where we said, right? See, like 249.
Right.
The SPY was going up higher than that. So instead of the put probably going down, it was going up. Like I was in profit. The higher SPY went is the more I went in profit
Really?
on the put.
Is
Yes.
that still the case?
I'm sorry.
Is it still happening?
I'm still in profit on SPY. When it closed, SPY closed higher.
Huh.
Oh,
Unless it's moving slow. We
So
should not delayed. It's not it could be delayed, maybe.
no, and that's not the first time that had happened to me for another stock, and I was shocked, and I can't remember the explanation for it. I don't know if it meant that there were the volume, maybe the bulls, there was much bears as bulls. I don't know the implied volatility. I'm not sure.
Huh.
I need to look it up.
Yeah.
can you make it happen for another stock?
What you said, Londell?
Can you make it happen for another stock for me?
I wish, and it's so funny that SPY was going up. I wasn't checking because I was like, I don't want to see it good. And my friend called me and he's like, is there an explanation for that? Because I'm in puts and they're going up, I'm in profit.
Wow. So
and I'm
someone
like,
else was in puts too, and it was doing the same thing. You know what? I don't know. Yeah. Can you do it for us too?
Exactly right.
And I think with this too, guys, we're gonna have to put like one. I think we're gonna have to kind of calculate another resistance up here.
Yeah, I figured as much. But we had talked about the 252, so I was wondering, is it probably going to do that?
Maybe closer to 451, and then this is 452. These are very
Londell, what did you do yesterday, Londell?
50, 52. Goodness, these are little moves, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to relook at this. Okay, so you can see that this one was sitting here, the 449, but it broke. It's because it's so strong. Remember, I told you we were creating these ones here are very weak because it's not much movement over here.
Yeah.
So even though you're getting your little bit of movement here, it's no movement previous. We were just kind of calculating it based on you know, pretty like calculating it based on what the ATR on SPY has been like on average, but the reality is it's pretty much not really enough information, because even if you go in the 4 hours, see, so it's not these resistance areas that we're creating now, it's not as strong as the ones over here, because we had a little bit more data. Even here it created some here, but here there's really nothing here. You have to really go to, like, even on the daily, nothing there. You really got to go to like here to find, like
strong enough it'll bust through, huh?
Right. So here we have 449, and then we said let's keep it at 452, and then the next one, which is here,
454.
54. Yeah. Let's see.
SPY is really strong, man. They really want SPY up.
Goodness.
Londell on Google.
Or
I know I said Google is on the go with SPY too.
right there, 455. Yeah, that's why this is the area this is the one we're going to be. See this here, and then here. This is why I said, like, I don't know. I mean, this was the resistance. This was the support. So this is previous history right here. Other than that, you don't really have much.
Yeah,
Here to here, this was the last time we had
Yes.
movement in this area.
right. So that part up there towards that the supply zone. After the supply zone, pretty much anything. It's by touch 479 again.
See, once we get movement in this area, that was the last point here, here, here. And
Yeah.
then, you know, of course, it was touching around support here.
Yeah.
So that's why I said this is the area we gotta be careful with, but this is a breakout. So
Yep.
here. So breaking out of 443 here,
Mm-hmm.
and this was the one that we kind of drew before, and we said that once the breakout hits,
Mm-hmm.
we got about right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as you can see here, once we hit these areas here, you had big rejection here.
Mm-hmm.
And when you fell below here, it was trying to hold this area, but then it fell below here. So
Yeah.
you can see the movement between even a little bit here. See, this is 425. It broke up above here. It got above this level because this was the breakout. But you can even
Mhm.
see here, there was some rejection at 454. Came back to about 426. They hit a low, but they were ready to break out. They were going in the upside. So then you broke out, consolidated, broke through this level. It fell below this support because this was holding as support. It fell below this support and it took it back down at this point to like 414. Came back up to 454. And
Mhm.
then it came back down to this level, and then that's when it fell through. So remember, our target is up here, which is the rejection,
Yeah.
down to approximately 420. Now you can see here how in the past it kind of went from here, this rejection point here, 456,
Mm-hmm.
to this 415, 416. So our resistance is up here. Our target, I put the target around like 420. So over here. So you could see the consolidation in these levels before in the past. And even even going in the opposite direction, you got this one, they hit this low of 415 and then took it all the way back to 456. Rejected, came down, and then kind of know how it went from there. And then it took us all of this long here to get back above this level here. So now we're back above it and we've been taken off. But remember, this level was resistance after it fell over here. Resistance, rejection, resistance, whatever you want to call it, supply.
Yeah.
It was still rejecting this area. Now it's taking off because it finally broke this level. So now this level is back to support. And
Right.
so you can even see like in the past,
Yeah.
how it's been moving.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where we're at right now, and we've been taking off. We've been really taking off. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how it goes from here.
Mm-hmm. Be interesting today to see why.
It's Friday too, so
I did a put at that 449.
Me too. And it's in profit. But aren't you in profit?
A little, but it's now in I think it's gonna be wiped out after once.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Premarket.
Yeah.
well, let's see.
But I did it till next week. So when did you put yours to expire?
It's on the 21st.
Okay, so you got time because there's no way SPY's gonna hold this till next week, I think.
Me too.
Let's see where we're at right now on
450.
time frames. Okay,
Yeah,
so this is here. We got 449, 452, and then like closer to like 456. So these are the areas because these are the calculations based on 449, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 50. Yeah, about 56. Okay, let's go. Let's bring it down to like 55. Kind of make it even. Okay. Now let's go into the lower time frame. So in the lower time frames here, okay, so we're breaking out. We're above here, and you can see, oh, you guys, I can see this 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4, 8, 12, 16. They busted through, came back down, but then they broke out because it's strong
Yep.
right now. All right, and then here we're breaking out again, going to the next level. But you guys see how overbought we are. We're very over.
Yep.
Let me look at the 15-minute. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just came right down today, but I mean, but they're strong.
See, that's the thing. Like, we're so overbought, but we're so strong at the same time. Like, even 5-minute, I mean, 5-minute is just white noise, but you can see how it's hitting this high of 450 here, and we're
Yeah.
like, we're bought because we are at like a resistance too. It's kind of hard to even like depend on the freaking these here because you really can at this point, because even though like we're like extremely overbought, the freaking the volume is insane right now.
It is.
So like the only thing I can say at this point, I took these 3 levels up because we're very strong, but to be honest, because these are our targets, but let's stick with the 452 right now and take this. We know that the next target, where the next target is, and let's put down the new, let's do a new support down here, because if it doesn't hold that 449, then you know that it's coming back down to the next support level. Which would be, let's see, let's go on the hourly. So let's say about here. Okay. Okay. So we're here above 450. So we know that if we continue to hold this 449 here, more than likely we're taking it to the next level to 452. Okay.
Yeah.
52 is our next resistance. And the only thing we can do is, I mean, it's Friday. You guys know how Fridays get. It could go either way, and it could be extremely volatile. But, you know, at this point, we are running like crazy. And I really don't know, to be honest, because if it was any other day, I would be like, y'all, we're overbought. It's exhausted. We're about to freaking reject over here. But because we're running so fast and so quickly right now, we could head up very sharply and then, you know what I mean, at a high. So we just, at this point, we just kind of got to allow the stocks to move, and we got to follow them, you know, whatever it tells us it wants to do. And we just got to pay attention to these zones. So resistance is resistance was 449, but as you can see, they broke this resistance wall. So now they're heading up to the next resistance. So that's what it appears to me. Let's look at SQQQ and see where they're at.
Oh boy. Trash, as you call it.
Yeah, damn, new lows, man. 1741 new lows. This is crazy. This is the lowest the SQQQ has ever been here too.
Yep.
And remember, guys, when we see lows, we normally see, you know, there's generally more lows until you get your reversal. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, same thing. Like, we're so oversold, but it's so weak. So it's like the opposite. It's the opposite. Even though we're completely oversold right now, like, look, I mean, at some point though, we gotta start rising back up, because we can only go low, but so far. You know what I mean? Like, before we can go up, this hit a low of like 1.64. Last time down here, it was 4.4. I'm looking at over here. So I can see it better on the 4-hour. This one low, 4.92. Down over here. This is a clear double top. So 1 hour. This is about around the same time. Over here, you see I'm looking at this one over here, but this one is still a little lower. This is freaking really low. This is really low. Let's draw our new lines here because we got to get out of these. All right, so this is like SPY's 449 right now, or 450. If it ends up pulling back at that 450, then SQQQ will be doing the opposite right now, coming up on this next resistance level here. If they fall through it, it's because SPY breaks it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We just kind of got to follow. But as you know, SPY is just as strong as SPY is. That's how weak SQQQ is. But we're hitting new lows, guys. So you know, we of course with these indicators, I mean, there's only so far we can go down before there has to have some type of movement up in order to create a pattern. We can continue to fall down, right? So let's go with Apple and see where they're at right now.
It will be an Apple. I think they were kind of sliding down.
Yeah, they created this little doji here. They opened up higher, but I could still see the bear symbols fighting. So let's do our, take this out and see. This is 190. This is the one. Yep, 190 is a good mark because remember I said we need to get above 190 before Friday and show us that it wants to keep going, right? If we stay below 190, if we stay below 190 before Friday, it could be signs that we want to pull back. So this is the level we're going to be looking at on SPY. Can we get above this 190 or are we going to stay below it? And so today's Friday, and it's crazy because you can even see them fighting here in this area right now. So Friday is going to be a good day because it's going to determine, like, if you know what I mean, like if we're going to, if Apple's going to keep going and we're just going to break out of it, or if we're ready to pull back. All right, so let's see where we're at right now. Look, we're going below. So we're below 190 right now. And if the signs for me, like because I can, this is a tug of war. And like when I see these candles, I see buyers and sellers trying to fight for this area right here, 190 area. So for me, like when I'm looking at the day trade, I can say, okay, well, if we open up below 190, then more than likely we're going to take it down to the next level. If we open up above 190, then we possibly going to take it to the next level up. So that's kind of like how I see it. Of course, we know it doesn't always play out that way, but we're looking at the probability. Okay. So with Apple, we want to close above 190 today to have like more confidence that they want to continue to keep pushing above and possibly hit new highs. If they close below 190 and today's candle shows that we want to bring it down, that could be signs that we're pulling back, because remember, when you pull back, you create higher lows. And this is a high, then you would have a higher low at 190, and this closing below this level, and of course falling below this level is going to be signs for the same thing. So this would be your confirmation here, this 190, if we can close below it today. If we can close below it today, it's you know, it could be a possible good move for maybe a puts call. I mean a puts call, a puts contract.
Yeah.
So that's Apple. And yeah, do we have any news today, guys?
Let me check right real quick.
Did you do a strangle again? You did both puts and call?
Oh, when for
On yesterday you did it, yeah, because you said
no, you know, I thought about it and I regretted I didn't. No, but I only did puts.
Oh, you just did a puts call. I mean a puts contract.
Yeah. But that a strangle would have been great.
And I know, because even around here we were so overbought. At 449, like you can see here, like extremely overbought. And this is definitely like the way that you enter. You enter at resistance at overbought, but it's just SPY is freaking insanely
It's too
crazy.
strong, man. They
Oh,
just want it up.
Hey,
8:30. Mhm.
no, I found there's I'm not I
Yeah.
know you like clean charts, right?
Uh-huh.
But I found an indicator that I think is helpful. It's called a gap up indicator, a gap
Ah,
identifier.
Let's look.
Uh,
What's it, is it actually called a gap up indicator?
no,
that's
it's a gap, it's a gap up. I'm gonna put the code in the chat, right?
nice.
So if you click, are you on SPY? Yeah, you're on SPY. If you move to the daily, right? And then click on studies and choose edit studies. And then click create to the bottom.
Great.
Yeah. Copy and paste that code that I just put in the chat, in the Zoom chat, and highlight where it says plot and just paste it over the whole thing.
The whole thing,
Yeah, copy from dev.
and then
Sorry.
put it where? Right here?
Yeah, highlight all of that and then paste it. Right, and then change the name of the study to gap up top left, gap dash indicator.
Hold on, gap indicator
Yeah, and then choose OK.
down here.
Yeah, and apply and OK,
Apply. Oh, it's already up there. Okay.
and then OK. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's on the daily, right?
Yeah. See if
So
it's anywhere else. 4 hour.
daily. Okay, so for me, when I
Just want to make sure it's up there. Okay.
Yeah.
Later. You want to share screen?
let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on.
Londell is the indicators person.
See that?
He
Yeah.
I found it
I
so
love
helpful. Let me share my screen. Hold on. How do I do it? Boom.
There you go. I just enabled it. You should be able to.
Share screen.
Yeah,
Share desktop.
that's interesting.
What, the gap indicator?
No, that Londell comes with these indicators. That's interesting. There.
So you see, like how I'm on Microsoft. That's why I'm on Microsoft.
Uh-huh.
And I installed on Microsoft on the daily, and you see like how it puts the gap indicators here,
Oh, the like the gap ups.
Yeah.
right? And so you notice like most gaps, you see like how it kind of bounces, like
Yeah, they come back and fill the gap.
yeah, bounces off the gap, and then here there's another gap, and you can see like once it identifies a gap, you can see that like those are like bullish
Wow,
runs.
your charts look very nice.
Yeah, I know, and neat. Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't do it on SPY,
Colorful.
but I did it on Microsoft because Microsoft had a gap up this morning.
Ah,
It had a gap up this morning, and I was like, wow, okay, that's a little bullish indicator.
Go to your 4 hour right quick. I want to see your supply and demand zone and if they're recalculating and how are they recalculating. All right, so what you have here for Microsoft, you got your supply zone at 352.25. So you can see Microsoft coming up on that resistance. And it's crazy because like if you take Microsoft and you just kind of like align it with SPY, SPY is coming up on that 454. And so Microsoft's coming back up on the supply zone here. And you can see the last time they touched the supply zone and hit that high of 352.25, they came back down to that 200 MA. So I mean, I could see that's a little more.
You see this gap up on the 15-minute?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Right here.
And you can see the last time, okay, so the last time they rejected here at the supply zone on the 15-minute, they came up, but then they broke above it. So they pushed past this, but you could see it was a gap too. Like they just,
it's like a big gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I found that I was like, wow, because I was looking at gaps and I'm like, there gotta be a way to
just see it at a glance.
See at a glance. And so I did a search on I did just a Google search on gap up indicators, and I found quite a few, and people people trade gaps
Mm-hmm.
as a strategy.
Yeah, yep, gaps as a strategy, yep. Gaps, breakouts, it just depends on, there you go. It depends on your strategy. But
Yeah.
let's do some analyzing for us, Londa. I want to see your
Oh.
Go back up.
Trying to put me on the spot.
I want you to do some analyzing for us. It's good for practice too. So
Okay. Okay, so Microsoft, okay, so let's go out on the monthly.
Yeah, this is so clean. I like it.
Go on the monthly and see if I could. Okay. So on the monthly, you start with, I think, resistance. Let me see. Or support. Create foreign tools.
However you want to do it, whatever order.
The money, maybe the money sign. Are you looking for a straight one?
Yeah, straight line.
The money one. Yeah, the money guy. The money sign.
Foreign tools. Where is it?
Go up, and then all the way up to the top on the second row.
Oh, yeah, price line. Okay. So let me start with, so they're right here. So let me start with support.
Supply and demand. Okay, I thought you were doing the supply and demand.
All right.
Yeah. Go back down where you were at to the yep, around there. Yep. Go up. Could you see how it was support and resistance? We're looking at a big gap right now just because we want to see a possible retest target.
I would choose that as support right here.
Yep.
Support. And then resistance.
We're pretty much, we're pretty much at that resistance right now.
I mean, based on previous. But,
yeah,
but
that's doji right there, right? It looked like it.
Can I use that as resistance? 351.
No. Yeah, but go down a little bit more. Go down a little bit more. Let's see.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I'd say probably around here. Go down just a little bit more.
Yeah.
The other doji at that red candle.
How about go down a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more.
Like right here?
Yeah, let's do it right there.
Yes.
And then extend it. Now, what's the gap between those two? What's the price between those two gaps there, for the support and the resistance that you
that's about 30.
That's about $30. Okay, so take that second. What's the number on the resistance line you just created?
That's 342.
Oh, 342 or that one. No, the first one, that one. 334, 44, 54.
334, yeah.
334, 54, 334, 54. That's 20. 54. So do about 360 and see what that gap looks like. About right there, 360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About there?
Yeah, I'd say about there. And just kind of doing the calculation, because even with Microsoft, we're still at new highs too right now. Okay, now go to the weekly. Yeah.
So on the weekly, wow.
That's a bullish flag too, because we're very strong. We're at the supply zone right here. I mean, it could definitely reject here. We're at an area where we could reject, but if we don't reject, we definitely have to have the calculation for where it could possibly go. And these are pretty large gaps right now. And these are not like support and resistance for, short-term move, like for day trading moves. I just wanted to see what the gap levels were where
Yeah.
we come back down and retest, or if they break through these levels, where would the next resistance go? You know what I mean? And even though we're at new highs, we just did an estimated calculation of what the previous, support and resistance was. So, but
But I
right
would do 351. I'll do this as a weekly resist. I mean, compared to like,
yeah, because look, you can see it was previous rejection before in the past, and when it had a previous rejection, it hit a low all the way down here of 200. But as you know, when you start coming back up on this again, if it's gonna maintain that bullish trend and it does come back to pull back and retest, you would create a higher low. So now what we can do is we can kind of look for, yeah, this is crazy. So let's go to the daily, because we can adjust these for more like short-term movements right now, but I just kind of wanted to see what like the big picture was. So let's delete the bottom one and the top one. The big one at 360, you can delete out.
so delete this one.
Yeah, so just delete it. So just right click and then it'll go out. Yeah, just remove it. Remove drawing. And then the bottom one you can remove it too. And we'll start with current price action. All right, now make it bigger. Okay, so now let's take a look here. So we have the resistance here, which is, and isn't it crazy that you drew your lines on the monthly and look at the daily, look at the touches. You didn't even do that here. And this is what I mean about confluence, right? So you can see all of those previous candles, how they touch this resistance, but none of them closed above this resistance level.
Right.
Let's take a look at where Microsoft is. Let's see if they're below this 342 or they're above it. Go to a smaller time frame where like stuff is happening right now.
Let's try the 15 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at currently?
Oh, we're above it. Well, no, hold on.
I was about to say.
I need to.
Yeah, we're above it because we closed. Is this the gap with them?
Oh yeah, we had 348.
Okay, so go to 348. That's your next resistance for your higher time, for your lower time frame. So let's do 348 and let's click our line there. All right, yep. Another line at 348 for your resistance point. So you could see they were trying to break through it, and go ahead, yep, click right on top of it, yep.
Yeah, because they went to 349.52 today, so they tried to break above. Interesting there.
Extend it, yep. Now let's take off this bottom one at 335. You could just click on it and hit remove drawing. Not that one, the one below it. That one, yep. Okay, now let's go to the hour. This is multi-time frame analysis, guys.
Yeah.
Multi-time frame analysis, and it's easier to get your levels on the hourly chart too. So we got 342, 34. What is the what's the ATR for them? Oh, you got the thing up here. What's Microsoft? You got Microsoft 6.73.
6.73.
All right, so what's that bottom line right there? What's that price at the bottom line? The support 342,
342.
and then you got 348. That's about right on the money. So
Yeah, $6. Yeah.
152, 53, about 54.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 352 as a new high, but technically, and technically, if we can pass this here, if it doesn't reject here, then you're pretty much back at like, well, 354 is the next, dollar amount up, but
Right.
you know what I mean? But you could, yeah, I'd say about right there if you break through. I mean, we don't always hold these supply zones. They're just indicators that could, show you that that's where rejection could possibly be. But we know that we break, okay, but we got to also look at the big picture too. We know SPY's breaking out on the higher time frames, but we also know that we're coming up on very strong resistance levels, which is crazy because you can see it right here with Microsoft too. Because you can see in the past that we've been rejecting this high at 352 around 352. You can even see this is a supply zone indicator. So you can even see the rejection in previous history. Now let's go back to previous history. Go back to the weekly chart right quick and let's take a look at, yeah, so the last time it hit this high here was in, what year was this? Was this 2022?
22, this would have been November.
And remember, that's the first rejection, okay? This would technically be the second rejection if we do reject it. Create a double bottom pattern, hit a higher low, come back on it before we break out into new highs. That's what I would anticipate. I mean, if we break out into new highs now, I mean, that's just where the market's going. But to be honest, even if you're day trading on, and this is why I always say starting out as a day trader, it gives you more clarity. Because if you're starting out as a day trader and you see a double bottom pattern like this, it don't take that long for a double bottom to form, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what time frame or how you're trading.
So we oversold here too on this, on the indicator.
Overbought, yep.
Overbought, sorry.
Yep. So if you come down to create a lower high, you know, you could create a W, you know, and then go back up. So where would your support here for like a retest? It would be at the breakout. So where do we just break out? We broke out at around like close to 300, I think.
Yeah, we broke out somewhere around here, somewhere, yeah.
We broke out. Okay, so this one was more along with SPY. So we broke out around like July, that big old candle. See that big candle? The look at the previous price action in that breakout candle.
This one here?
Keep going over. Right. Yeah, we kind of broke out around there. We'll go down.
I thought we would have broken out like around
Right there. Well, maybe hold on.
like around here. This I mean, if we look straight across.
Yep. The big green one was the breakout.
Yeah.
Yep. So what is that? 290, close to 300.
It's
Yep.
289.
289.
Right. Yeah.
So put your line there. So then that would be your retest. But see how it would, if we retest back to this area, you see how it would create a higher low.
Yeah. That was that. That was, yeah.
Yeah, because it was holding as support for some time before it fell through over here. So remember, in order to like look to see what your in order to see like the most important levels, you're gonna look at previous history, and you can see where you're at right now. It rejected that level in July, and then also previous to that, in the year before, you can see how this level was also holding as support.
Yeah.
So that's how you know that it's a significant level, because it was used as support, then resistance, and then it, you know, then it resistance, and then it broke out. Yeah, so this is pretty tough. Microsoft is pretty tough. But as you can see, even when we looked at Apple, we was saying like, it's, you know, we're so high right now. We just got to be careful. This is not a time you want to try to chase the trend, right? You don't want to chase the trend right now. At this time, you just want to wait for it to hit its highest point and then, you know, pull back. So you can see here, this is on the daily. We had a gap with Microsoft, so we're going to open up higher. That's obvious, but we're coming up on a supply zone. And if you guys know what supply and demand is, a lot of times with supply and demand is there's a lot of institutional money in these areas. So you see how the last time it hit that high of 352, how it just it came down. So that could indicate that there's automated money there, like institutional money where there's automated like orders. So a lot of institutional money are putting their sell orders here, because institutions, their goal is to buy at the lowest point and sell at the highest point. So your goal as a trader is to follow the institutional money. So this is an indication for a supply zone here. So you have to be careful in this supply zone, because there could be a lot of automated orders that trigger, which is institutional monies for selling.
Oh, we're so overbought here. I mean, look.
You're very, yeah, and this is on the hourly, you're very overbought. I mean, how far more are you gonna go? I mean, you're out of supply zone. That's why we created the next level of resistance around like 354, because we still have to take into consideration that we're not psychic. So if we do pass this level here, 354 is the next calculation above, because right now we're opening above. We're hitting a high. So, you know, if we hit this high of 354, you definitely want to be freaking careful. You definitely want to be careful over here in this area, because this could indicate that there could be sellers over here. Okay.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for putting me on the spot.
Nice.
But that was good.
But that's how you learn. That's how you get better. That's how you gain confidence, you know. But no, I love your charts, Wanda. I love them. Like, they're so clean. You can see that you know what you're doing now. Like, you're able to be very independent with your trading. I can see that just by like seeing your charts and how you got it set up and everything. So that's nice.
Thank you.
But I think for like our overall conclusion today, guys, it's Friday. So you know what I always say, if you got stuff to do today.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
Or just watch the markets.
Every day I used to be like, no, it's the day where everything is cheap.
Yep, not anymore. Too cautious.
Because Fridays can be very volatile, guys. And I know, you know, you guys got positions in, so you definitely want to monitor those positions.
Definitely want to. I definitely, if I could get out the day without holding over the weekend, that's the plan.
Yeah, and it's very volatile. We are at our highs right now, very high point. So like I said, we're close to supply zones, like on the higher time frames, and I think we're coming up here pretty soon. We're going to start seeing a lot of selling. But at the same time, we still want to follow the market, and we want to wait for the cues. Like I was telling Ruth Ann before we take positions, because we're thinking about taking some puts contracts, we want to look for confirmation. And a lot of the confirmation, we'll find it on the daily, because the daily will indicate a reversal. And generally your reversal indication is at resistance. Okay. So we know our resistance is coming up. Microsoft, it's around like 352, 354-ish. For SPY, it's around 454, 456-ish in those levels, approximately in those levels. These are, you know, supply zones on the higher time frames. And like I said, in supply zones, there's generally the way that it works is there's institutional money setting automated orders at the highest point where there's a lot of selling. So if you can follow institutional money, that's like your best bet. Same thing when it's at the lowest. The institutions, they want to buy at the lowest, so they'll set their mark for their automated orders at the lowest. So right now we have our retest level for SPY around like 417, 420 area. That would be your lowest. That could possibly be a demand zone. So what we're looking for is, where is the supply zone? Where is the demand zone? We want to catch those areas because we want to follow institutional money, right? So even if you're day trading or just doing short swings, you still want to know where those points are so that you can be cautious with your trades and you kind of know where you're going in direction. So I would say today, my end conclusion, guys, is that we're very strong. We know we're strong because we broke out. We've been talking about this breakout for the last couple months, or when we broke out in June, we've been talking about how strong SPY is. So when we have breakouts, we know that the strength on the lower time frames, we're going to feel it. We're going to see it. And that's what's happening right now. But again, we have breakouts, but also we have to come back and retest the levels that we broke out at. So I feel like that's coming soon. So at this point, we're coming up in these high areas. Be careful. And it's Friday. So with all of that in play, you know, we just got to observe. We got to be careful and follow the market. Let it tell us what it wants to do today. Does it want to go back into the highest points of, you know, the 454, the 356, or are we going to come back down and, you know, are we going to pull back and allow these smaller time frames to like create patterns for us? Because right now we're like so overbought. We're so overbought everywhere. So yeah, that's my conclusion. But thank you, Londell. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Ruthan's like, yeah, no, that shot is a lot. Put you on spot, Ruthan.
You're welcome. Ruth next.
But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm not going to hold you all too long. We've been having these sessions for a long time, but I think it's good because it's very important now. We're coming in areas we really, really need to pay attention to. Okay.
All righty. Take care. Enjoy your Friday.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Enjoy.